All right, welcome everyone. We are finally live on Facebook. I had some trouble, it would not stream. So anyway, we're just a little late, 3 minutes, but I am here. I did have to close the Zoom to get this all to work. So if anybody is trying to Zoom in and they're watching on Facebook, go ahead and try again. So welcome everybody. This is Seth Talk Live and it is January 10th and it is a mere 1:03. Today our meditation is going to be projecting universal vitality into the sick. And as usual, we are live on Facebook. We are recording this and we will be putting this on YouTube later on, before next Sunday at least. We are waiting for a few of our panelists to arrive. Jeff will not be able to make it this week. I did hear from him as he just couldn't make it, and he said hi to everybody, and he'll miss everybody. So hi, Jeff. If you're catching any of this, we miss you, and I hope you feel better. I do want to put out just the announcement that Jeff would normally be making is we are having a Seth conference. It's Seth Conference 2021 in well, it's going to be live. It's going to be all virtual. And it is the California Bay Area Seth group that is putting this on. I did agree to be a part of this, so the Seth House will have a presence there. So it's going to be done via Zoom. It is going to be probably broadcast on Facebook and some other, and on YouTube as well. And I'm not sure what else, but Jeff is the technical guru on this one, so I'm just his assistant. And the best thing is it's free. So it is completely free to the public to attend. It's going to be 3 days, and the days are, don't tell me, I didn't write them down. It's the last weekend in March. Let me look on my phone for the dates. Can't believe I didn't write them down. Hi, Mickey. Let's see, March. It's going to be March 26th, 27th, and 28th. So that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The last one's in March. And Friday's probably going to be just kind of a easygoing get together. And then speakers Saturday and Sunday. We're really looking forward to this. It sounds very exciting. There's a lot of buzz going on about it. So I hope you can all join us. And I'm guessing our Seth talk on that Sunday, the 28th, will be a part of the conference. So that's very cool. Hi, Mickey.
Hello, how are you, sweetheart?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there,
Hanging
hanging
in
in
there.
there. This is a very, very intense time, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
Especially in our context of what we've created
It,
together, all
uh,
of us.
yeah. It's intense everywhere.
It is.
And that's well, I guess I just announced the conference. You heard part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff won't be attending. He won't be with us. He's got some personal things going on.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, he's fine. So I kind of, plugged the conference. I did that first thing. And I said we're going to be doing the meditation is going to be projecting universal vitality into the sick. And just to let people know, on our on our YouTube channel, I did put that up as a standalone under side time recordings. So there's now two of them there. And
Yeah.
I posted it in a bunch of spots so people can see that one as a standalone, but we'll be doing
Mm.
it here today live, and it might be a little different. So I write these, and I am so used to going into what people don't realize is when you are doing these meditations and the hypnosis, you kind of hypnotize yourself too.
Oh, of course.
Oh
Of course.
boy, big time. So I can never, even though I have this written down, I never say it the same way. You know,
Uh-huh.
there is other things come out of my mouth and, whatever. So
But you have to be open to what you're receiving so
yes,
that you can put it out there.
absolutely.
And a lot of times people also don't realize that as the hypnotist, you have a very large responsibility and a different discipline because of the fact that you have to stay alert
Yes.
and aware and broadcasting while the rest of us are receiving. All we have to do is sit back and let it come in.
Yes. So I never go as deep. However, the suggestions are just as pertinent for me as
Exactly.
they are for all the people out there. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
hi, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
Uh-oh.
you don't have
You're
very good
Wait.
audio and you're a little frozen.
yeah.
Oh, am I?
There
Oh,
you go.
Uh-oh.
There
oh,
you
there,
go.
that's a little better now.
Yeah.
Little
Okay.
Audrey's in. Maybe you and Audrey are connected.
Maybe.
There we go.
Hi,
Hello,
Audrey.
That could.
Miss A.
Hi, Audrey.
Hello, Audrey. We can, oh, you're muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Hello.
Not much here. It's very, very quiet here. So I'm just gonna go out and say this. I have had a crazy personal week. So Shara's on a trip. She's on a spiritual excursion extravaganza. She's very excited about what she's doing. And the day after she left, I re-injured my knee.
Oh
Oh, no.
no.
So I am going to be going in for surgery, and I haven't told anybody, but I'm telling the whole world now. So yeah, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. I've been in a lot of pain. I'm not, last 2 days, there's no pain. It's just now puffy and tight and stuff. So I'm getting around a little bit better, but
nice.
how crazy life is. So as I was doing this meditation, which the part that Seth gave us is very short. It's just one small paragraph. But it's almost a 10-minute meditation because I embellished a lot. And, so, but
Okay.
Seth's teachings on this was very small. But the biggest thing is I've learned this throughout the years anyway. I didn't know it was Seth's teachings, but I've learned the exact things that Seth says. And I learned them long after Seth said them. And my teacher learned them long after Seth said them. So, the world, this information is just out there, and whatever we call it. But this is universal healing. It's sending vitality to the sick. However, you can send it to a situation. You can send it to someone that's well. You can send it to your future self. I thought about this as I was doing it. I sent it to myself for the day of my surgery. So I am already prepared. She's already receiving all of this healing that's happening.
Hot dog.
So you can also send it to yourself in this time, or you can send it in a past time or a future time. So there are no rules, and there are no limitations. And Seth taught that so many times. There's no limitations. We can do anything. We just have to know that and believe that. Yeah. It's
I am
big.
so proud of you. Gosh, I love hearing. I am too through with you, Miss Thang. Oh.
It's exciting. And this is, this is the way I always taught Reiki. And that you have no limitations. And it's you can teach these things, but do you practice these things? It's like when you think about Jane and Rob, I'm still reading. Oh my God, I'm reading this book, Dreams, Evolution, and Value Fulfillment. I'm on the second book. It's hard getting through this one. There is a lot of bull crap in it. There was one chapter where Rob said it's been 8 months since we did channeling for this book.
Wow.
So this book was spread out over so much time.
Mhm.
and I'm having a hard time finishing it.
Mhm.
But
I've
there's
had
been,
trouble with that one ever since I got it.
yeah,
When it
well,
came out,
book one was great. I flew through book one.
I haven't been able to do either one.
Oh, well, I
I've
loved book
tried
one.
and tried and
Wow.
tried. Just like I can't even open the cover on the James stuff. The something of William James or whoever he was, the writer.
Oh, yeah, I saw some
Nope,
of that.
I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Okay, well, the time will come when you can.
But I just absolutely wallow year after year in nature, personal reality, and unknown reality. I mean, they're just okay. It's morning, open it. It's afternoon, open it. It's evening,
That
open it.
one's next. I have not read this one yet. I started it and I couldn't finish it.
Oh,
I got to, I think this is my bookmark. I got to page 81. And I have a note
can't
here.
wait.
Look at this. I have a note here. It says, start here.
Oh, I can't wait to see
Yeah.
what it does to who I know you are.
Well, we'll see.
Because
I
I
haven't,
know how it works, and I'm just waiting. Oh
and it's
boy.
that's
it's so
interesting.
funny because when I first met Oshara 4 years ago, we started with Nature of Personal Reality here when we were doing the online or the book study in person. And then, so I ordered Seth Speaks. I ordered a bunch of Nature of Personal Reality so that people could buy the books here. And she says, now make sure you get Unknown Reality. She says, you're ready for that one. She goes, you can do that right now. You're ready for it. And I couldn't do it. So
I know very few people who are ready for it when they get it, when they open it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be waiting in the middle of it before it starts to even speak to you, I think. I mean, it just sits there and waits for you to like dig into it. It's as if it's looking at you saying, "Oh, you think you're ready for this? Let's just see who you are."
Well, I clearly wasn't, but it's definitely calling to me now.
Beware.
Yeah, it's calling to me. So that one is the next book. But I have with so much that it's gone on this week. So I have always made my center here politics free zone. And there's reasons for that. Everybody has very big opinions on both sides.
Yeah.
Kind of my opinion is both sides, I'm kind of on the fence. I think there's good pieces on one side, there's good pieces on the other side. And I don't like politics. and I don't like politicians. I mean, I think people are wonderful. And I think that all they do is hurt people. Like I see a lot of hurt. And part of this meditation, I was thinking maybe we could heal some hurt, heal some hurt. And Seth, one of the things that he taught, and I remember, I don't know what book it was in, maybe you guys know, but he said, you can never end war by hating war.
Yeah.
You have to
want
and love peace.
Yeah.
Right. And I see so much of, I love this side and I hate that side. And no, we want to love togetherness. We want to love peace. We want to really look to putting this country together, putting the world together.
I'd like to add, though, that we have to be alive to do it.
Well, yeah. Yes.
I'll leave
maybe
it right
not.
there.
Maybe not.
Like I said, my lips are sealed.
Yeah, it's a difficult subject, but it is what we're living through right now. I mean, the news and people are hurt by it on both sides.
Don't watch the news.
Well, I try not to, but it does come up every time, every now and then.
You hear it sometimes. Yeah.
Sure.
Same here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I I was absolutely shocked. As I said, I was in a lot of pain on Wednesday and I was napping. And when I woke up, my phone was just going bing, 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 bing with all of this stuff going on. And I'm like, what did I miss? And then I was sorry that I woke up. So anyway, again, as Seth scholars, right? Seth's words, we can't hate. We can't. I've seen people do that. I've seen good people that are loving people that have such hatred in their heart, and it's only hurting them. It's not helping anything, you know. So that's the part that bothers me the most. That we really are here to be healers, to heal ourselves and each other. Okay, there's my soapbox. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I just believe in love, you know, and I really, really do. And I always have.
I just have a golden diamond encrusted 24 karat gold muzzle.
Oh, okay. I honor that.
Sweetly.
I honor that. And yeah, you know, I don't know what else to say. So I mean,
unbelievably complicated.
it
really
is.
And especially within the context of who we all are and what we're trying to do. You know, in the name of those principles that we're accepting and trying to share. Because I won't even say trying to spread. We're trying to share what we're experiencing from what we consider to be a wise source. And in the exercise of doing that, then there's unbelievably complicated times that we're trying to do this in. So it's going to be very interesting to see what we all create, because the whole planet created this. You know, like you said, it's all over the world. There are all kinds of things happening, but the intensity and the tone, positive or negative, the tone of what's going on requires that we all behave in certain new ways. And we're trying to figure out what those are, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
In
I
our
agree.
function as healers. This is a true show enough test. You know, this is not a rehearsal. This is the real deal here. And so this is the front line, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
This is the front line.
Yeah. Yeah. Martin, I had to mute you. You're making a lot of white noise.
I thought it was his heartbeat or a heartbeat.
I do not know what it was.
I hope.
But if you want to speak, just unmute yourself. But I wanted to let you know that I did that. It was so loud for me, I could barely hear Mickey. Okay, he's smiling. So, okay, what's going on?
It was me enjoying my noise, as I usually do.
Oh.
I didn't notice it because I was enjoying it.
Okay, I don't hear it anymore.
I had a fan on, so I got my window open and my fan on. That's me in the winter.
Oh,
I thought it was your heartbeat or your stomach.
A fan on and a window open. My God, we just got rid of the snow. I'm excited today because it's the first day I haven't seen snow in the ground.
It's snowy out there right now, and I've got my window open and my fan on, and I'm in short sleeves.
And you're in shorts.
That's normal for me.
That is absolutely unfathomable to me, who is from Florida.
One of the reasons I moved here is I love cold weather.
Wow. I can't even take that in.
No, me either. We still have snow on the ground, but the sun is beautiful and shining today. So it's the first day. There's blue sky out there, and it's very uplifting. Wow. Yes. And I do have a hard stop for 3:00 today. My family is coming over to help me take down the Christmas tree and do some stuff that I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and she's like, my daughter is like, do not get on a ladder, Mom. No,
No.
I won't even stand on a chair.
No, I've
Yeah.
been told the same thing.
Mhm.
I can no longer get on our step ladder.
Mhm.
I had a terrible fall just from a little step ladder.
Yeah.
But nope, that's it.
Well, let me tell you how weird what I did. So I knew that I had this little tear in my meniscus, but it wasn't hurting me. And every now and then it would catch, and then it would make a floppy sound, and then it'd be fine. So like cracking a knuckle. And I was doing my exercises, and I started to get up off the floor, and I couldn't get up. The pain, it must have, whatever it does, it must have shifted or whatever. It locked my knee up. I couldn't put any weight on it. It was some of the worst pain I've ever experienced. It was like a hot poker going up through my shin to my knee. And I was alone, and I was scared, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have my phone near me. I didn't have any crutches. I didn't have my brace. So I used a chair like a walker, and got to the room where my brace was and put that on, and then got the crutches out, and then I could just sit down and breathe. So it was kind of crazy. And at that point, I told the surgeon, I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. It's time to, she told me back when they first diagnosed it, she's like, you really need to get this done. And I said, oh, I'm not ready for surgery. Well, I am now.
Yeah.
So all I was doing was getting up off the floor. I did not fall. I did not have another injury. I just was getting up. And I just, here I am, 61. And, I don't ever remember my mother being on the floor, playing with us as kids or playing with the grandchildren. I don't ever remember her getting on the floor. And I've always been a grandmother and a mother that's been very active with my kids and my grandchildren. And I'm not going to do it anymore. It's time to, not that I'm old, I'm not, I feel great, but I need to heal this. So I am, and January is just a super busy month for me with taxes and getting the 501c3 ready and getting all of the contribution letters out. Like I have until January 31st. They have to be postmarked by that date. I have deadlines. Now I'm losing the last week in January. So I've stepped back from doing everything except what I absolutely have to get out and get done. So that's what my week has been like. Just and using Seth's teachings to calm, to looking up some of these meditations. I see a lot of because they're in the personal sessions, so there's a lot of information that Seth gave Rob and Jane personally that probably were never going to be published, except Jane asked for them to be at the very end. And so much of it, like I saw where and that's what's in this book now, and that's what bothers me. It's Jane was in a lot of pain by the time she wrote this book. At one point, Rob said she hasn't walked in over 8 months. She just rolls around on her rolly chair, and he took a chair and put casters on it so that he could push her around. And he still said she could turn this around. She could turn this around, but the belief has to be there. It's that belief that we are so much more than we believe we are. And I believe we're a lot. I do.
Yes.
I mean, I believe that we are unlimited and we can unleash that. And that's where this meditation seems so important to me, that we can use it for ourselves, past, future, present. We can use it for other people, situations, however we want to, with the intention of love and peace and compassion and the best for everybody involved. That's the most important part. It's not just the best for one person, but it's not good for anybody else. It has to be the best all around. And I always ask the higher beings to help me, to assist me. and to guide me, because I don't know what the best is. I may think I know, but really I want, let all that is choose what is best overall, Yeah.
That's an excellent viewpoint.
Yeah. That's the way I was taught. That
It's
is,
heavy. It's
yeah.
hard to come from that space. I mean, when you learn that that's possible as a viewpoint, there's a lot more to it than just finding out that you can be that way. As you start to try and embrace the idea, then there's a lot of learning that's going in there. As you
Yeah.
learn how to think that way, there's lessons involved, and it's all about getting through the steps that it takes to reach that shore, you know, of where you can do that. And
Yes.
I have such respect for people who not only understand that truth and want to embrace it, but those who are willing to go through what it takes to learn those lessons completely.
Yeah. So for me,
Mm.
I was just a normal, everyday person. I didn't have anything special about me. I wouldn't say I was a
Oh,
healer at all.
crap.
Oh no, it's true. This is a long time ago, but I wouldn't say I was ever a healer.
Oh, come on,
But
Kate. You've
but
been special since you were born.
well, I know that
Don't even
now.
try
I know
it.
that now.
Don't
But
try
anyway,
it.
so when I learned this stuff, and I wasn't one of these people that could feel the energy coming through my hands. I didn't see anything. I mean, let me tell you, I was average. And I trusted and I just believed without seeing that it was all working. And it was because I got confirmations, like the one I had with you, Mickey. So there were always confirmations about different things. And then as that confidence built, then more things started opening up. Then I started feeling and I started seeing and I started getting more guidance. So I have a very strong belief or faith, I guess. I have a lot of faith in what I've learned and what can happen.
Well, I
And
have something to share with you then.
oh, go
I've been
ahead.
waiting for the right time because I've been trying to understand it myself. Um, but ever since that first healing that you did, and strengthened by the multiple ones that everyone else, aided you with, but from the first one that you did for me and Jack that night,
The one at night, yeah.
every couple of days there were little tiny hints, but it just reached a point where I was sitting here one day and I said, I'm not believing this. Let me just really look at it. But I can see, well, got my hand below the camera, but I can see around each finger a field of light. And it's moving. It has little tiny swirls in it, little, it's literally a field of moving light. And that's on both hands. And when I move, they swirl more, with the movement. So you can see this stuff moving around as you move your hands. So I've been trying to figure it out. And the closest thing I can figure is that I'm literally seeing the Reiki energy that you sent. I don't know if that's close to the truth or what, but it is something I see. And I started to see it more and more often to now, whenever I look at it, as long as I don't have a lot of other light in the room, if I just look at my hand, when I move it, I can see it. And it's about slightly over a half inch away
That's pretty
from the
big.
fingers.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
big, but it's around every finger.
And
And
only on your hands, not your arms, not your
no,
legs.
not yet. It's
Not
just
yet.
my hands. So
Not
far.
woo. Not yet. And you could be absolutely seeing your own energy. You know,
Yes, it could be. I don't know what
could
it
be.
is. But even so, within that context, if it is just my energy and not the scent energy,
Mhm,
then something about having received the Reiki energy has enabled me to
mhm,
detect my own energy
mhm.
field, because I
Yes.
do feel it's my field, but I wasn't seeing it before. So
Okay.
Mm.
Ah,
this is strange. It's been going on for a few weeks, about 2 weeks now.
wow. That's beautiful.
Mm.
And it could be a combination energy too.
It could.
Yeah, it
It
could
could.
be.
I know it got a lot easier to see once you had that meditation where everyone was helping to send, you know, but it did start just a few days after you had done the first one.
So
So
can I?
if I'm, if I know to other people are probably sick to death of me singing rah, 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 sis, boom, bah, but I'm your biggest cheerleader.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Now, did you listen to the meditation yet that we're doing this week?
No.
Oh, well, wait till you get to it.
And I tried to twice, but something interrupted each time. So I says, I'll just wait, I'll
How
just chill.
interesting.
Yeah, I'll
Okay. All
chill.
right. Okay.
Because when
Well,
I
how?
saw the subject matter, I was gung ho. Ooh,
Yeah.
and the face was like, get back, just wait, just be
Wow.
patient.
Okay.
And I get that a lot. So
Okay.
I'm
Well,
used to that slap on the hand.
wow. So this meditation, Seth did it. It came from book 8, and a fella named John Petrie from
Mm,
Franklin, Louisiana. He wrote to Jane, and he wanted something to help his wife who had MS.
mm-hmm.
So and I've heard this before, and I thought it was Seth telling Rob to do this for Jane, and it wasn't at all. It was totally a different person, and I don't know if this person ever used it. I mean, there's no feedback on results. That's why having um, how do I want to say this? Having a research and development, right? So
Mm-hmm.
something that we could
Mm.
like document
Oh.
things that happen. That's
Oh.
so important for me to do at the Seth House. Not that I want it to be a science house or anything,
No.
but a place where we can see the results of what Seth said,
Mm-hmm.
not just Seth said this.
I think it's important to have that
Very
aspect
much.
of
Yes.
our, of our experiencing this.
Yes.
I'm
And
sure that's important.
And in saying this, I'm going to announce something big.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So
Drum roll.
I know, we got apartment 4.
All right.
We do, we have it. So we now rent 4 apartments out of the 8 in the building.
Wow.
So
Good heavens.
we were gifted the promise of paying the rent for 2 more apartments for 1 year. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. So we have,
Good heavens.
so we rented apartment 4 and 7. So apartment 4, they lived in, so they lived in 5 for 15 years. The last 4 years, they also had 4. And that's where Leonard used to live.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a 1 bedroom, and it's really where her library was. And I think she used it more as a workspace. I think, I think they still lived in 5, but they did move to the kitchen in that one. It's a bigger kitchen. You can put the refrigerator in the kitchen. So anyway, we took before pictures, and it needs a lot of work. The floor needs to be done. It's completely empty. But we have it. We actually paid the rent for January, and we do have the keys to it. Then the other one we rented is where the drug dealers were living. So they left. So we rented that one. So it's like, rent them just to keep bad people out. So now the building has pretty decent people living in there. There is a man that lives 2 men that live actually all 2 apartments downstairs. One is a husband and wife, and they're pretty calm and quiet, and they've lived there longer than even Oshara. And then in the front, there's a nice man that has twin boys. and he actually is acting almost like security for the whole building. Like
Wow.
he's wonderful. We love him. He's living there, and then there's a gentleman on the 3rd floor in the 1-bedroom apartment, and he's quiet and keeps to himself. So everybody is pretty good now. So we don't have to, it's not a scary place to be anymore. It was scary. Oshar and I, a year ago, we were afraid to be there. It was that
Whoa.
bad. Yeah,
Oh,
it
wow.
was. It's not in the heart of town, but it's on a very busy corner. And when you have anybody dealing drugs, you just have riffraff. And there was
Yeah.
riffraff there. So, and that was part of what we want to do is we wanted to clean up that corner and make it safe for people.
Yeah.
Seth's house should not be so scary,
Mm-mm.
So
Well, I
anyway,
have a quick question.
Yes.
Does the landlord tolerate the idea of rent to own?
not yet. Not
Ah.
yet. He's open to selling it. He wants a certain amount of money that we have not been able to raise yet. So, it's up to the Seth people.
Because he might even designate a small percentage of the rent to go toward a down payment, even if
Right.
it's not all of it. But
He might do that. He's becoming more and more. He talks about the house. He now calls it the Seth house,
oh,
which he never did before. And
oh,
so Monday we were over there and we met with him. We looked at the apartments. When I looked at the apartment on the 3rd floor, I almost cried. And I'm like, I don't even want this apartment. I don't even want it. It was so disgusting. It is so filthy. It's just an abomination that somebody should even live there and leave it like that. So he did agree to do a lot of improvements. He agreed to doing painting and flooring and whatnot. So we did in the end agree to it because it's the apartment that's right above Five's living room. And the last people that had dogs up there, and we could hear them scratching and we can hear, so we just wanted so that apartment was clean.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do have we now rent 1A, 4, 5, and 7. So we have an apartment on every floor. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when you go into the apartment building and you go up the stairs, there's a door, a fire door at the top of the staircase. You go through the fire door and you turn to your left, and there's another door, and there's a hallway, and that's where 4 and 5 split. And then there's a door at the end of that hallway. Well, we have permission. We can put in permanent locks to lock that hallway so that it's essentially one big apartment. So that will make it very, very secure. So we're pleased about that as well. So yeah. So he is giving us a lot of leeway as to what to do, and and he's not putting anyone else in there. So we're grateful for that.
wow, this is moving along, isn't it?
It is
Slowly becoming.
apartment by apartment. It is coming, but that is the apartment that we have always envisioned as being the library, holding all of the manuscripts, holding all of the information, having the research, and then doing the development in 5, right? That's where all the action was. Although Seth channeled in 4 as well. I mean, he channeled in mostly 5's living room, but he also did channeling in the art studio, which has a great energy, and they definitely channeled over in 4 as well. So and the Hill House too. So and she wrote Way Towards Health in the hospital. So he channeled at St. Joe's Hospital for at least a year, if not 2. Like, I don't know how long
to know
that
what
one took.
the health professionals thought of that.
They were afraid of her. They were afraid of her. One of the girls that helped us clean apartment 5 was a nurse, and she knew people that attended to Jane. She never met her personally, but they were afraid of her. They felt she was dealing with dark energies.
Oh my God.
And a lot of times they just let her alone. They just let her do whatever she did. So yeah, it was not believed in this town. I And I'm sure that Seth had his reasons for choosing this place, and he did. There's just no doubt about it. Yeah. So that's exciting news. I mean, we went from getting getting extra apartments, and Ron gifted us with, he took a picture of the portrait, and he had a canvas wrapped print made for us. So that is now over in 5. It's sitting on the couch. We don't have it hanging up yet. We didn't take any nails with us, but it's over there. So we put Jane's painting that Oshar and I own is in that, and then Seth's portrait is there. So it was a pretty big day for us. We got a ton of stuff done, and we're moving along, quickly. It's not slowly. It is moving quickly.
Sorry.
No, it's been 3 years, right? 3 years. We were approved on was December 27th, I think. 3 years ago. So
Wow.
yeah, and I can honestly say that if I were to have gotten this house lock, stock, and barrel 3 years ago when we first initially did this, I don't know that we were ready. We've gone through a lot of growth and a lot of learning about how a foundation like this runs, and what we've had to stand up against. There is a big part of the community that does not like what we're doing at all. And
Wow.
yeah, there is. Yeah. And we just believe in this. We just believe in it, and to have a place where people could join together in community, I think is just really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's heavy.
Yeah. Well, we've come across many people that aren't, I don't even know what to say about them. They just don't like new people, I guess, whatever it is. But Oshar and I we're just so determined. We're there, we're in the place, we feel it, we've experienced it, and we want everyone to be able to, it needs to be open to the public. And it was for a short time until COVID.
Yeah.
And it would be now. If any of you want to come to Elmira, you guys, you could stay there. We've got two apartments that are furnished. 2 are kind of nasty, but we have 2 that are really nice.
Come and clean.
Well,
yeah.
Eventually there will, we could use a carpenter and some other stuff. Yeah. So the need is there for community, whether it be meditative, research and development, or construction.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, because we rent, unless we want to do something really fancy, he pays for it.
Yes. Exactly.
Now, he's not somebody, the landlord is very handy, but he doesn't make things look nice. Like he is, get it done, quick and easy, down and dirty, whatever he has to do. If we want it to look pretty, we need to find the labor ourselves. He'll buy materials. He will do that. So that's a big help.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But he's doing flooring for us. That's a big deal. He's going to do flooring in 2. Well, he promised us 5 too, so he should be doing flooring in 5, 4, and 7. 1A is completed, although we just learned it has a leak. So, and that's another good thing. Right now, he's responsible for all those big things, plumbing and electricity and the roof leaking. We don't have to worry about that right now. So renting is not a bad thing.
No.
Yeah, it's not. It's
just a phase.
It is. Everything is a stepping stone. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. We get more comfortable here, and then we take another step. So that's what I've seen. Apartment 5, we were told by the boys that lived there that they would never leave that apartment. You would have to pry their dead bodies out of there before they left. And they walked away, and her and I scoffed it up in,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's
And
wonderful news.
and we don't intend on letting it go. Not at all. Not at all. We love it there.
Really wonderful news.
It is. It is. So we're getting closer and closer and closer to the end result. I love it.
Mhm.
Love it. Yeah. So, and we will be showcasing the Seth House on the conference. So that
Yes.
will be part of the conference. We'll be one of the presenters, as well as helping out with the technical end of it. And Oshara is helping out in the presenters end. So she's trying to put together, you know, who we can ask to be presenters. So it's very, very exciting.
That is lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one of these days we'll get 1 million members in the Seth House, and
Yeah,
everybody can have a $1 fundraising.
that's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Zoom.
Go team. That's right. Every
That's it.
every little bit helps, and it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although from the accountant standpoint, I would so much rather have just those big ones. But no, I'm only teasing. I'm only teasing.
I know.
So, yeah. But yes, everybody is so welcome. We have one of the, as soon as you come into the apartment, one of the frame things we have is you're always welcome to Seth's house. Right. He said that. And I think when he said it, it was in, I want to say it was in the early class sessions. And he said, he's like, don't tell Jane I said this, but you're always welcome to Seth's house.
That's awesome.
I do.
Cheeky.
I love that. He had a
So
good
he's
sense of
still
humor.
there.
I was about to say that. He did really definitely have a good sense of humor.
He did.
Really did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
You're
cheeky.
still picking up on that. That's what's, when you're there, that's what you're picking up on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That-
Oh, it's
that
clearly, it is clearly his house. There is
Mhm.
no doubt
Yep.
about it. You can
Mhm.
feel him there.
Mhm.
I have even so much have seen, and it wasn't in 5, it was in 1A. And I saw a figure, tall, shadowy, and I was certain it was Seth. I was certain of it. And it was the
There you go.
back. I didn't see like a face or anything. It was just the back of him. But I definitely had that feeling of that presence.
That's amazing.
It was. It really was. Yeah. Yeah.
I do
Interesting.
get-
I see him as short. I mean, in my mind.
Well, I'm 5 foot tall. Everybody
me
is tall
too.
to me.
Well, that's true.
That's hilarious.
I
I never think
actually-
of you as that, as being that short.
Oh
I
God,
really
I'm
don't.
teeny tiny.
Me too.
My
I see
head.
you as about 5'7" or 8.
Oh my God, my head doesn't even reach Oshara's armpits. she's 5 foot 11 and a half. They measured her. She's almost 6 feet tall. So she's probably 11 inches taller than me.
That's funny because I never see you that way, ever.
Tiny. Really
Yeah, I don't
little.
see you tiny either.
Yeah, tiny.
No, your vibration is not.
And when her and I sit together, I sit more forward than she sits. Or she's very overpowering, size-wise, and yeah.
When I first started dating my boyfriend at 6'6", I felt like I was a little child because I'm 5 feet. 6'6". I'm 5 feet exactly. Also, it's
My
just
ex-husband
weird.
is 6'6" too.
We like them tall.
I do like that. And then I was so surprised that my husband is shorter than any man I've ever been with.
What's his height?
He's 5'9.5". And I don't think I've ever had a boyfriend or a husband who was less than 6 feet.
Wow.
My ex-husband's 6'2", so I guess I like them tall.
Yeah.
I used to be a little over 6 foot. I think I've shrunk.
Well, I don't want to shrink.
No, me either. They say once you get to 4'11", you can be considered a midget. I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
Yep, don't want to go there.
Well, speaking
very
of tall
interesting.
people,
Good things come in small packages
That's what I've said my whole life.
and big ones too. Yeah.
yeah. Well, tall people wouldn't have any idea that they were tall if it weren't for people that were not as tall.
Yes.
This is true.
Yes.
So,
Very good point.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's really good to have tall people around sometimes because
Mhm.
like the Christmas tree, she was able to just like put things on it
Yeah.
instead of me climbing
Yeah.
on a chair, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a step stool in the kitchen. If I stand on the step stool, we're the same size.
Oh my God.
And it's almost 2 steps. Like if she stands down 2 steps and I'm at the top step, we're about the same height then. So it's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah,
Big
that's
difference.
interesting.
Yep. So and I have no idea if Seth's tall or I think the beings of light are unlimitedly big. And I think that when they come and they're in a room with you and you have that energy, they fill that room. So they are not only within you, they are around you, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And we have that same energy. So Mickey, you're talking about this energy that you can see around your fingers. We have that energy. It's pushed inside of this, what we call a meat suit body, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
this physicalness. But when we expand this healing out of our hearts to the world or to someone else, it just makes it huge. Even science says that our auric field is probably 7 miles. 7 miles.
What?
Do you know how many? Oh yeah. Well, they say if you take a photon and you split the photon and you pull them 7 miles apart and you tickle one photon, the other one reacts.
Yes,
So
I do know about
so
that.
that's how far distance energy continues. Now, of course, the further away it gets from your physical body, it gets less and less and less, but it's still there. So how many people are we actually interacting with? So we can feel when there's stuff going on in a neighborhood or, whatever. So we want to be in the best places we can be so that we're feeling the best things because our energy field is out there. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We're pretty big, important beings. I wrote, and it was in this book that I don't have the quote with me. I'm terrible with quotes, but basically it says that we are a spark of all that is, and we can never be extinguished.
Yes.
So, and if we are all energy, which everybody agrees that yes, we're energy can never be extinguished. It only changes form.
Yeah.
So we are so permanent and we are so big, and I love this.
Wow.
Our Facebook people are being so quiet today. Judy Hall is on. Hi, Judy.
Hello.
And Wysong, who was on? Rick Rossili. I'm sorry, Rick Rossili, Larry Rush, and Judy popped on again. So hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi.
but no questions. Just people are watching and listening. Woohoo!
It's that kind of day.
Yeah,
it speaking of what?
Well, speaking of tall people, I don't know what this meant, but where I work, we had a lot of people come in this morning wearing military fatigues.
Oh,
and they
God.
were all huge. Every one of the people that came in, they were at least 7 feet tall. All of them.
My goodness.
I was like, is this some special military squad I haven't heard of?
A 7 foot tall club.
Yeah. I mean,
really? Seriously?
they were at least a good, more than a foot taller than me.
Wow.
All of them, every one of them. It's like some basketball team that would be.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody that tall.
No, nor have I. Nor have I.
I saw Andre the Giant once. I was standing next to him, so I think I did.
I've seen pictures of him, but I've never been near him.
How tall is he?
Oh,
Was he
Tall.
8 feet? He was eight something.
he was,
He was very,
I
very
don't
tall.
know, but we were all looking up.
I think he
Wow.
was about 8.5.
Yeah,
I
he
And he
was,
was very big build too. And it wasn't just
yeah,
tall, he was
yeah,
big.
he was a
Mhm.
big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was quite substantial.
Yeah.
I remember when he first got known, and everybody was just in shock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gee whiz. Hmm. I'm sitting here swilling coffee. Sorry.
Oh,
That's
that's good. That's
quite
good.
all right. Coffee is great. As a matter of fact, I think Seth had something to say about that too. I think he said
Really?
when you
Yeah.
he said when you get up in the middle of the night, if the caffeine doesn't bother you, that it could actually aid in your dreams.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It kind of
I
makes
can't wait to
sense
try that
because
because I
it's
drink it all
stimulating.
times
I
of the
do
day and
too.
night.
It increases test scores of people. They've shown that if you drink coffee before taking a test, it'll increase your score.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
trying to pull it up to the camera, but I can't. But anyway, you see the cup,
Yes.
but it sits on an electrified platform.
Oh,
Mm.
a little
So
heater.
yeah, and you just dial the temperature you want it to be, and it stays
Whoa.
there as long as you like.
Well, that's fancy.
So it's always hot to my
Nice.
particular taste, you know,
Okay.
Mm.
whatever way I want it. And
Oh,
I'm very hooked on it now, this little contraption. I liked it so much. When I first bought one, I immediately bought one for two friends, one for my daughter and one for a friend. You know, you gotta try this. You gotta try this. Wait till you try
nice.
this.
Now, does it brew the coffee too, or it just
No,
warms
no,
it?
no,
Just
no.
keeps
You
it
just
warm.
make yourself a hot cup
Mm-hmm.
and then you put it on there. I have it set, you know, to 152 Fahrenheit, and then it just sits there. It keeps
Nice.
it at that no matter what you do, as long
Mm-hmm.
as you don't leave the top off. Because then you see, if you put milk in your coffee and that top is off, then that's drying on the top. So you get like a
Mhm.
skin on it. So
Okay.
you've got to
Right.
keep the lid on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it's just circulating. The heat just keeps circulating and it stays lovely and warm.
Oh, very nice. I
Now, I
usually
bought
don't
it a
let
year
mine.
ago,
Oh, uh-huh.
you see, and now I went back 2 days ago to try and buy some more, but they are running out. They won't have any for a while. I guess they were
Oh,
Christmas presents, you know.
yeah.
But the
It sounds
new
like a
ones,
good Christmas present.
yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
new ones now can do hot or cold.
Oh,
I
how
like that.
interesting is that? Very
And the
nice.
double ones cost less than I paid for this one. So,
Oh,
you know, so it's evidently it was something that people really wanted. It
yeah.
was a great idea.
Yeah.
And so they've run with it now and you can get it either way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I usually don't. My coffee doesn't last long enough for it to get cold.
Mhm.
Well, if I'm on the
It's,
computer, you
yeah.
know,
Well,
and you
especially my
keep putting
first
it
cup.
down to do things, and
Mm-hmm.
you get cooked on a page or something, then it's sitting there getting cold. So,
Yeah. True.
and once it's not hot, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like iced coffee either.
Me either.
I like iced coffee,
Yeah.
but I
Oh
mean,
no,
if you have a
yeah.
hot cup that's no longer hot, it starts to get toward warm. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like lukewarm
Mm-hmm.
coffee.
Well, I
So,
don't like either one. I don't like it cold or lukewarm.
No,
mhm,
me either.
I like good old hot coffee.
Hot.
yeah.
Yep.
And we're spoiled now because we don't even drink. Today was the first day that I haven't had any instant coffee in the house. Once we ran out, that's it. I just brew fresh coffee and put it in there, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm rotten.
Yeah. Eh, it's good to spoil yourself with
It
something,
is.
you know.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That
if you find things that do that for you know, especially things you can afford, little things that you
Mm-hmm.
treat yourself to, it helps your vibration so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Small
well, here's something.
happiness. Huh?
Here's a variety of coffee you might want to try sometime. You heard of that guy Andrew Zimmern that has
Yep.
the
Yeah.
bizarre foods? He
Oh,
did this on
Yep.
one of his shows. They made something they had during the American Civil War. They used to make coffee from sweet potatoes.
What?
Yeah, they would
Sweet
dry and
potatoes?
roast. Yeah, they would dry and roast the sweet potato and then powder it up and pour hot water over it, and it made coffee.
Huh.
And he
What's
tried
his
it, and he said it tasted identical to coffee.
What's his
Wow.
name?
Andrew Zimmern. Yeah, the show is Bizarre Foods.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That would be one. Yeah,
I've heard of that show.
yeah.
And at Zimmern.
Zimmern.
Zimmern. I think it's Zimmern.
RN. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that I'm gonna look into that. I love sweet potatoes.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
I
I like them
love
sometimes.
them. And I tell you something else. Well, I'm an old Southern woman, so
Oh,
sweet potatoes are real popular in the Deep South.
yeah.
But another thing is that we always had a sweet potato plant in the house.
Oh,
Have you
wow.
ever seen one?
No.
It
Hmm.
is the most beautiful vine.
Oh.
And if you put one in a hanging pot and hang it in the corner of the room, I guarantee you that over the course of a year, it would go all the way around the ceiling and come back and
Oh,
down.
wow.
Because
I'll have
it
to try
grows
that.
like mad.
I
Like
love
that other
vining
plant
plants.
called what is it? Purple passion?
Yeah.
Left to its own devices, purple passion will take over your home.
Oh. Now, will a
Oh.
sweet potato plant, will it make a
tubers.
sweet potato? Yeah.
I
Or
suppose if you plant it in dirt, it would. Most of the time in the Deep South, when I saw, everybody, especially in the Black community, everybody's grandmother had a sweet potato plant growing in water.
Oh.
oh.
Okay, so I
Oh.
suppose if it were in dirt, it would do just what it does when you put it in the ground in the garden and make tubers.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like with the white potato. If you cut an eye off of the white potato and plant it, it becomes a potato plant and it will make potato.
Hmm.
Yep.
How interesting. I did try doing that with carrot tops
Yes.
and with romaine lettuce, and I
Yes.
grew lettuce. It was
Yes,
so
I
cool.
did.
It
I
really
did too.
works.
Well, what I
So
did was keep taking leaves off the
yeah,
outside. So it
yes,
just kept growing. The middle
yeah.
kept growing.
But as far as the carrot goes, I don't eat the carrot green anyway, so why bother? But I tried it, and it does
They
work.
are lovely in a salad.
Oh, I have
The
I
tops
always
are
just throw them
fabulous.
away.
The tops are fabulous in a salad. The
Okay.
same way you put in a little bit of parsley or
Okay.
any other kind of herb. But the carrot tops are wonderful.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
there's very few times, except in the summertime when they're actually growing, because everybody else cuts the tops off.
Yeah.
They don't come to the stores with them on.
Right. And that's
Interesting.
sad too.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because it looks pretty.
It does.
Bugs Bunny always had the green.
Interesting fact about potatoes, at least regular potatoes. I don't know if it's true of sweet potatoes. I think it's a different variety of plant. But potato plants are actually related to tobacco, and they do contain nicotine, believe it or not.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
Huh.
And certain types of poison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you never, ever, ever should eat a potato that has a slight greenish tinge on the skin.
Ooh,
Because
wow.
at that point, it'll give you a stomach ache because it's poisonous.
Oh.
Yeah. I know about
Yeah.
potatoes, tomatoes, green
Eggplant.
peppers, and eggplant because anyone who has arthritis or lupus has to stay away from them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been told that. Yeah.
Now, are they nightshades? They're all nightshades,
Yes,
aren't they?
that's it.
Okay. All
That's
right.
it.
Okay. Got
And
it.
that family is not good for those types of immune diseases.
Mhm.
When you were talking about Jane and the stages that she went through toward, through her life, and especially toward the end and so forth, I have the exact same thing. But I found out about mine at the time that I met her, on the phone.
Uh-huh.
And so I started doing what Seth was telling her to do. I was
Mm.
doing to
Mhm.
prevent mine. So what I did was I turned it off for 8 years, completely off. And so very slowly after that, for years since then, it has made tiny increments toward, manifesting, but I stay on top of that. I try to anyway.
Mhm.
So I have managed to keep it at a certain level. I'm always I'm slow to want to read about what he's saying because I'm afraid he's going to tell her to do something that I can't do. I don't want to
Mm.
get into a position where I'm not doing what I'm supposed to, but
Mm.
I have to read The Way Toward Health.
That's a hard one. Boy,
I can't.
I couldn't read that one either.
Me either.
Do you do the peanut oil?
I do, yes.
Okay. So that
Yes.
was one of his biggest, was rub the peanut oil 3 times a day.
I
And
don't do it as often as I should, but I
mhm,
do use it.
mhm.
And I also use it in cooking,
Okay.
you know, especially since it has a much higher flash point. It's very
Mm.
good to use, because it's
Yep.
hard to burn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I only use butter. I don't use any kind of oil.
Oh,
So
that's a good
I
thing.
cook
Yeah.
slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
like to use butter too. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I use quite a bit. But those are the two things that I use. I mean, I'm not using the peanut oil for cooking all the time
Mhm.
because you don't want to use oil all the time. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when I do need to use something else other
Mhm.
than butter, then that's what I use.
Do you use essential oils for your body?
Yes.
So you
Oh,
can
yes.
put the essential oils in the peanut oil.
Yes.
Yeah, and use the
Okay. I
peanut oil
didn't
as
know that.
well. You can use the
As your
peanut
carrier.
oil as a carrier. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep, yep, yeah. So
God,
I
that's good to
use
know.
for my hair, I use argan oil, and
I do too. I do too.
I put essential oil. It's called wildflowers. It's Italian wildflowers. So I
Hmm.
always smell like that.
Oh wow.
I use Russian or Arabian musk in my
Oh,
essential oil.
nice.
Oh yeah, I use
Yeah,
that in the. So I'm a absolute nut for musk of almost
nice.
any particular kind.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I can't use any scents in
No.
really,
anything. I'm allergic to them or something. I don't know what. I
oh,
mean,
that's
that's why my
interesting.
face is always red. Washing, with washing soaps, and my neck breaks out.
Mm.
I'm
So
Mm.
wondering if that would still be true of an essential oil though,
maybe.
as a fragrance, because most fragrances that people access in the public are not as
That is,
pure as an
yep,
essential oil.
that is
You
correct.
know? So if you're
There's
going to ever try a fragrance, then it would be interesting to try one that's only from as a pure essential oil.
and try it very
A
lightly.
tiny bit.
Tiny
Yeah.
bit with lots of carrier oil. It goes a
Right.
long way. Like where I would use
One drop.
my palm of carrier oil, 1 drop of
One
essential.
drop. Yeah.
Right. And you
Mm.
never, never, never use it straight. You
Mhm.
always mix it in the
Always.
carrier oil.
Yeah. And like you said, a little goes a very
It
long way.
does. Yeah. The only and I am allergic to one essential oil, and that is the eucalyptus
Oh yeah.
globulus.
Oh
Holy
yeah.
moly, that is
I
so
can't stand the
strong.
smell of it. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
I don't necessarily not like the smell of it, but I end up it closes my throat off.
I
Mm.
don't like eucalyptus and I cannot stand the smell of wintergreen. Ooh.
Oh, oh.
Ooh.
Now I'm
Mm.
not a big lavender fan. Like everybody loves
Me
lavender.
either.
No, I love
Me either.
lavender.
No.
I don't want anything to do with
I
lavender.
like the plant, to have it
Yeah.
outside, but dry lavender is the worst.
I don't even want to brush past one and get the aroma. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
I just
Mm.
don't like, and I don't know why, because everybody loves it, and it does so much for you in the healing realm. People
Not
swear
if it
by it.
bothers you that much, it doesn't.
That's
Mm.
right.
And
That's
again, what
right.
did Seth say? Everything is what you believe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What you believe is, what is real.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Speaking of musk, I like patchouli.
Oh
Oh,
God,
yes.
I don't.
Oh,
I
you
You
don't
don't
like
go
don't?
near
patchouli?
it.
Oh, I like it.
Can't
Oh,
go
I
near
love
it.
it.
It was so
I
popular. I
love it.
mean, I'm an old hippie, you know,
Yeah.
and it
Okay,
was
there you
so
go.
popular.
You got overdosed on it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like when anybody went by me that had it.
Yeah,
You know, I've
yeah,
never liked
I
it.
think because
uh,
people overdo it. You know,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a young woman that's by us, and she has dreads. She's a white girl, purple dreads, and she
Okay.
just soaks her hair in it.
Oh
So it is
no.
so
Um,
overpowering.
Oh
I
no.
like it. I can like 10 blocks away, I can smell her coming. Then it's
Oh
good.
God. Oh God.
Yeah, yeah,
But you
very
know what? I
difficult.
do believe that there are families of fragrances that are appropriate for some people where they're
Mhm.
not for others. I mean, I
Absolutely.
Yeah,
find that just like you have the 12 signs, and within that, there are families of signs
right.
that have a connection, you know, all the water signs, all the air signs, all the etc. I seem to find that fragrances of a certain kind, like some people like earthy fragrances,
Hmm.
some people like herbal fragrances, some people like floral, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
Yeah.
it makes sense to me that those things I mentioned that I don't care for, they all form a certain category,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
So the people
Yeah.
yeah,
who like
patchouli is
them,
very earthy.
yeah.
It's kind of like moss growing in the mud.
hmm And
Oh, I
it's a
love that
sign that's
smell.
Yeah,
missing in my chart.
It used
yeah,
to.
Oh,
Earth,
yeah, yeah,
oh, wow.
you
Okay.
know, the ruler of my chart is Neptune, which is ethereal and
yeah.
woo woo.
No, not you.
Moi? Oh no.
Oh, all right. Well, we have covered a lot of ground today. Oils and scents and yeah.
I
I
think you could sit and go through the things that you like and dislike and kind of assess, you know, and you get information about yourself and how you're manifesting and who you are this time and so forth. You can learn a lot by just taking each tiny little thing you either like or dislike and start to get a picture of some kind, you know?
mhm,
But it does take introspection. It takes you being willing to sit and, you know,
yeah.
hmm,
Yeah.
What are you laughing about, Audrey?
Because we were so quiet.
yes,
Oh,
we were
It
all
was a
being
profound thought.
introspective.
It was a very profound
it was.
We
It was.
were suddenly introspective. Oh dear.
Well, how about if we move on and do the meditation?
Yes.
Let's jump into that.
Here we go.
So again, it's projecting universal vitality into the sick. It's from the early sessions, book 8. It's session 364. He gave it on September 13th, 1967. Now, if you all have that booklet, it's a PDF, and I think if you're on the Facebook group, there is a tab that says documents. It's in
hmm
there. It's in
Okay.
documents. Somebody
Okay.
put it in there. So, but it says in that document that it's session 248, and that is wrong. That is book
Oh.
number 3, I think. So that is how I saw all this other stuff. And sometimes I think that Seth like did this stuff so that I look from this to this to this to. So anyway, but I do try to verify where it is and that it truly is a Seth quote. So
I
anyway,
have a question
yeah,
before we start.
yeah.
I'm wondering if there is anyone in the Facebook group sitting and watching this now who would particularly need for us to aim this stuff, this energy for the sick toward helping them, just like they did for me. There may be others out there today, especially since this is specific, you know, for
Well,
helping.
there is someone that I see is on, and I know darn well that she could use it because I just do. She has
Okay.
she
I'll take a little.
she and
Yeah.
her family have COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you can keep Judy Hall in mind. And then
Okay.
we'll keep
I felt
Audrey in
someone
mind.
needed it. I can feel it.
Yep.
Felt me.
Absolutely. And, you can keep the 25th and my surgery in mind too. So,
Okay.
and this is going to be, and know that it's up there on Facebook or on YouTube. You can do this anytime you
Yes.
feel like giving energy to somebody. If
Yes.
so many times we see on Facebook, so and so is going through a tough time. Can you send them healing love or prayers
Yes,
or whatever?
you do.
This is a good way to do that because they are requesting it. They are
I do see
saying,
that. Yeah.
yes, it does happen a lot.
Mhm.
So, and Seth delivered this for a man named John Petrie of Franklin, Louisiana, for his wife who had MS. And this was his idea of what to do. And then he did give some talk about the wife, which was very confusing to me. But so I had to read more of the actual session to understand it.
Mhm.
So Seth was going on to say that she was sick because of her past. So he was trying to give that kind of a reading to her. So anyway, that's the idea. And keep in mind that we absolutely can be sending this to ourselves even,
Yeah.
and to our futures, to our past. I mean, you are limitless in how you send your vitality and love, right? And if we channel universal vitality and love to us first, and Seth didn't say any of this, this is my teaching, through your crown to your heart, and then let that fill you first. So you're receiving the energy first, and that energy is blending then with your personal energy, your heart energy. It's picking up your signature and your intent. Then you send it out to the world, but you always replenish yourself first, right? That's important. That's what I learned with Reiki. In doing Reiki, I never get tired because this is universal energy filling me first, then it's going out. I am not using my personal energy. When I forget that and I try to do something all by myself, I get exhausted.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I've experienced that when I've gone to spiritualist communities that do spiritual healing. They can only do maybe 3 people and then they're tired, they're exhausted. I
Yeah.
could do Reiki
Yeah.
all day long and feel like $1 million when
I
I'm
need to
done.
learn that. I've never before needed to, but it's a time
We
that
But
has
can
come.
talk. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
that
I
I've only
healing,
been
wish everybody knew Reiki 1.
yeah. Okay.
All
That's
right.
very interesting.
that's what
Yeah.
Charlie Goldsmith says. It's a healer, Charlie Goldsmith.
Oh,
He
yeah.
gets extremely tired after he's done. Yeah. He
Oh.
sometimes has to take off a month or more.
Yeah.
Wow.
See,
Yeah.
with Reiki, that
Yeah.
does not happen because you are
Yeah.
being infused
Conduit.
first. It is a conduit, yes. Yeah. If
Mhm.
you think about yourself being like the water pipes, right?
Mhm.
And the universal water pipe is the one out on the road and it's coming into yourself and it's just shooting out, right? There is no valve that says it comes back at you. So that's another thing. We're protected. We don't take on anyone else's stuff because there is no give and take. When you do empathic healing, you actually heal here and then give back.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
scary stuff.
I think that's
Yeah.
what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's that. Yeah, I don't do
Mhm.
that. No,
Mhm.
I don't want to
Yeah.
take any. I got my own shit.
That's,
I don't need anybody else's.
yeah. That's quite a sacrificing soul. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
think
I
I
just
look
could do
forward
that.
to this.
send
This
it
is going to
through.
be interesting.
It is. I think you're going to enjoy it. And I did try to change it up a little bit so it's not the same boring induction I always do. So
Oh.
let's just start by settling in. I hope Judy's watching. It says she's watching. So Judy Hall, this is for you. Settle in, close your eyes, and let's use the 3 to 1 count. We will inhale deeply, and on the exhale, I want you to use your imagination and see the number clearly and say silently to yourself, 3, 3, 3. Getting softer each time, then 2, 2, 2, then 1, 1, 1. So let's go ahead and let's do this together. Inhale and exhale. 3, 3, 3. And again, inhale. 2, 2, 2. And inhale again. 1, 1, 1. Now I would like for you to use your imagination and see yourself standing on a cliff in front of a waterfall. It's a warm day as you feel the warmth of the sun descending upon you. Look to your left. You're going to see 10 steps leading down to the bottom of the waterfall. And I want you to imagine a rope running along the steps. In a moment, I'm going to count from 10 all the way down to 1. As I do, I'd like you to start going down the steps. And with each step that you take, you will allow yourself to go deeper and deeper into relaxation. Now take hold of the rope and focus your attention on the beautiful waterfall as you begin going down the steps. 10. Allow yourself to relax as you hold on to the line. 9. Let yourself go all the way down deep. 8. Deeper and deeper. 7. So very relaxed as you feel the warm mist from the waterfall on your face. 6. 5. Deeper and deeper. 4. Seeing a faint rainbow coming out of the waterfall spray. 3. More and more relaxed. 2. Almost at the bottom now. 1. Deep, deep relaxation. All the way down and totally relaxed. Now notice beautiful crafted benches molded to fit your form. Sit and get comfortable on one of those benches and just listen to my voice as I read Seth's words on projecting universal vitality into the sick. The husband now should follow this exercise 3 times daily. He should imagine the energy and vitality of the universe filling his wife's form with vitality and health. Not a wishful thinking sort of thing, but a definite effort to understand that her form is indeed composed of this energy. And in this way, he can help her use it to her advantage. If possible, he should touch her during this exercise, and it should be done morning, noon, and evening. One of the shocks mentioned how to do with a death, one with an incident shortly before her marriage, and marriage itself with a shock, and the third one. We will take a few minutes to experience this projecting vitality into another person while we are here today together and safe. Now, while our eyes are closed, and after hearing what Seth said, let's imagine someone who wants our help with healing. And this could be yourself if you wish. Get them straight in your mind. Imagine them right in front of you where you can reach them easily. Now imagine reaching out to them and touching them anywhere that is comfortable for you both. If they have a headache, cradle their head. If they have a backache, put your hands on their spine. You get the idea. Now, while touching them, imagine the energy and vitality that make up their physical body. See it. See its shape. See how it moves. See its color. See its density or transparency. Now imagine filling them, their form, with vitality and universal healing energy. This energy is unlimited, just as you both are. As you are filling them, notice the energy of their physical body. See it clearly. Is its shape changing from before? Is it moving differently? Did the color or vibrancy change? See it all very clearly. Know that when you do this on your own, you can take as much time as you like. Know that this universal energy is coming through you as you're sending it out to the person you've chosen. Now, when you are complete, I would like you to just push lightly with your fingertips 3 times, and that signals to the body that your treatment is now over. And it is always at this time I want to thank my guides, angels, etc., for guiding me with the healing of myself or another. And now it is time to come back to your physical body, totally refreshed and feeling wonderful in every way. So on the count of 3, you will be fully back and ready to resume Seth Talk. 1, you are beginning to emerge, feeling totally relaxed. 2, your mind is clear and alert. Your eyes are starting to open. And 3, eyes wide open, fully awake and feeling fine.
Oh.
So see, Mickey, you can see it. So synchronistic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one for me to come out of them all. I was ready. I
Yeah.
was back. I could feel the end.
Beautiful.
And there it was.
Yeah.
Back, feeling good.
And it's that simple.
It is wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by how that felt. Yeah.
Were you
There's a,
able to see the energy?
I'm sure that I did, but I was about to say I felt there's a point where I no longer could be aware of my own thoughts. I was lost in the sound of the meditation of what
Ah.
you were saying, and I was no longer cognizant. I was no longer hearing you in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I was gone,
Same here.
and the me that is me was hearing you, but consciously I was gone. I was unaware. And so there's a point where you snap back to being aware that you're hearing something, you know, but I was gone. And I prefer the meditations where I do get lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of being led somewhere, but I'm no longer staring at the person who's leading me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're fully invested in being led.
Yes. And this one was a little different because you were focusing on someone else,
Yes.
not on your own experiences. So, yeah.
I had one hand sending to someone else, and I had one hand on my own chest, heart chakra, to
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Beautiful.
So I released them first, and then I released myself, and then we were back. you know.
Beautiful. And that little quick 1, 2, 3 little push. So if I had you in person, I would be doing that at your feet.
I like that.
Yeah. And that's just like a boop, boop, boop. You're all sealed up now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it does make a completion. It
It
truly
does.
does.
It closes a circuit.
Yes, absolutely.
I was getting a lot of the color green.
Well, green is heart chakra. That is healing, and that's healing. Yeah.
I had magenta and gold.
Beautiful. So gold would be solar plexus. Magenta.
That's what I was touching.
Magenta's root, little bit of root, and sacral. Yeah.
That's interesting because that's what I asked my energy to go to, was the root chakra and the heart chakra.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's like bright
Thanks.
sunlight. That's what
I'm muting for.
okay. So what was your experience, Martin? Was there
Well-
any change in what you were visualizing once you started sending as opposed to just observing?
I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I was actually, the light was surrounding me. the color, it was kind of like beams. And I was like in a shower of it. I don't know. I wasn't sending it to myself, but I was in it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, that universal energy comes to
Yeah.
you first before
Yeah.
it's going to send out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if I were doing my own meditation, I would have done it a little differently than the way Seth said, but I really try to stick to what he's saying and then just try to put the meditation in my own words. Yeah. How about you, Audrey?
Well,
maybe
I
after.
have like, I get all red and kind of break out, and I had a burning around here. It's not burning anymore around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I sent it through me and out to everybody. We'll see.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Joe just hopped on.
Yeah.
She said,
Hi, Joe.
So Joe, you just missed the meditation. So you'll have to rewind this and catch it a little bit later. She says, good evening, just hopped on. Oh yeah, good afternoon for you guys. Yeah, it is. It's, oh my gosh, it's 2:34 already. We're like in our last half hour.
Oh.
Yeah, time has gone by so fast. Yeah. So I hope that does help for you, Audrey.
I hope.
And I hope that, I don't see that Judy's on anymore, but I hope that she felt that as well.
And I thank
I
you.
hope so too.
Yeah.
It's interesting that when it was sending, when it was going, it wasn't going to the people that I had before decided I was going to send. It went to an entirely different group.
Oh, how interesting. Okay.
And like it was like Mickey said, I was completely unconscious. I wasn't hearing your words at all. I didn't even hear your voice. And not until you said come back, that's when I heard you again.
Oh, wow.
And I came back. Yeah.
Now, see, and I will say that your subconscious, though, your higher self hears everything I say. So your conscious self does not have to hear my words. And that is the beauty of hypnosis.
Yeah. I came back, quote unquote, a couple of seconds before you said, the count, the 1, 2, 3 to come back. But I was gone.
Yeah.
I was gone. And I had a tiny bit of guilt because as soon as I got back, I realized that I hadn't sent to someone else. Only to the person here, I sent to Jack and to myself. And at no point, I was gone so quickly that I didn't have a chance to send to someone else. So I guess it did what it was supposed to do. The
absolutely. So So we set our intentions in the beginning, right? So we set our intentions that this is what's going to happen. And then only we add to it as we go along. So
must have been that,
I love the rope.
Yeah. So you did hear some stuff.
I actually
Yeah,
did
well,
feel
see,
the rope in my hand.
yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
Oh,
Me
nice.
yeah,
too.
Nice.
Big
yeah,
Did
fat rope.
yeah.
But
did you
when you
did you get a
said
nice molded bench?
yes, yeah, and that's when I was gone. As
Oh,
soon as I
okay.
got seated,
Okay.
once I was safely seated, I had come down, I turned loose the rope and sat down, and bam, I was gone.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's what those beams of light, I was in the waterfall fall. That's what it was. I went into the waterfall.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
was the
Oh,
rainbow in the waterfall.
yeah,
yeah, that's what it was.
I
Okay,
remember you
Ah,
saying the
that's
warm
what I was
spray on
seeing.
your face as you were
Yeah,
coming down and everything, and then once I
yeah,
sat, I was gone.
uh-huh.
yeah.
Nice. Very
I
nice.
always, I always
Mm.
see Martin running ahead of us, though. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
that's funny.
That is funny. Yeah.
That is really funny.
Well, when I was little, I was a hard one to keep hold of.
I bet.
I
I
did.
bet.
My parents lost me many, many times.
Oh my.
One
Vi-
time they found me after about an hour, and I was pushing a baby in a carriage, and they didn't know who the baby belonged.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's funny.
Wow. That is something else.
I just really, really, really appreciate the meditations that we
Yeah.
get on Sunday evening. It just, and this one was the best yet.
This is the first one really on healing. Shy of the one we did for you that was an
Yes,
impromptu.
yeah,
This is Seth didn't do too much on healing, really.
right,
I think
right.
in the personal sessions and in the way towards health there was a lot. But in the other books, it's there isn't too much in there.
Mm-mm.
So, but I love digging into
Nature
this
of
and
personal reality was the point where I got tools I could actually use for myself, and I was so grateful at that point to have it laid out where you could just do this, do this, do this, and then do that. You know,
let me look. I don't think I've done anything from that. Let's see. Let me open this. The PDF is. I really everybody should download that PDF. It's right there. Oh, let's see. Nature of personal reality. Oh, it's a ways away yet. So I'm in the early sessions right now, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 more from early sessions. Then it moves to the individual and nature of mass events. There's 4 in that, and then it jumps to nature of personal reality.
hmm hmm
So, and there's
it was
quite a few. There's about 15 of them in that book. But
it's
I mean,
so hands on.
we can be doing this for another year
Yes,
before I get to all of them.
that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for
We will have
sure.
healed the whole of reality by then.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, that is a wonderful goal for us to have.
It's surprising the people that I sent that healing, not anybody that I would ever even have considered sending it to.
Mm,
Yeah, not
Now,
people that I hate. I mean, I like these people, but I
sure.
never would have thought of sending them anything.
Uh-huh.
Mhm,
Now,
mhm.
when I send to
Yeah.
specific people, I generally, if they don't know I'm sending, I will generally send it at the soul level that
Mhm.
they, receive it. And if they don't receive it, and they might not, that someone nearby that could use it or the earth could use it.
Mhm.
So, and the earth can always use it. So,
Mhm.
the energy is never wasted, but we also don't generally send without people's knowledge.
Right.
Right.
So that's because they have to want to receive.
Right.
Well, these were people that are actually asking for a lot of help.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Then that is so
Inclined to
perfect.
help them. So,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, it's hard to explain. I don't want to get too
Sure.
involved in explaining what it is because it would be really out there. Okay.
And know that this is it's a group effort. So
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
I had my intention for certain people, Audrey, Mickey, and Martin, each person had their own little intention.
Mhm.
As a whole, as a group getting together, it went to all of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it all joins together, and
Right.
it's always more powerful when it's more than one person. Always.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me when you're on screen right now and you're talking that I still see spikes or rays of energy around you.
Around me?
Mm.
On screen?
I see it against the wall behind you. I can see all this stuff
Oh,
shooting
I
out
see that too.
like that.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
the wall has definite
That's
No,
lines.
I
No, it's
mean
different.
things going like that
Oh,
out from you. The energy that you project when you lead us in these, that energy is still there and it's
wow.
still functioning. It's still flowing, I should say. It's
Can you see
lesser
this when you
because you're
watch
not aiming
recordings?
it. I don't know that I
Oh,
have.
okay. Because I can't see that.
Okay. I'm not sure that I've ever seen it before,
Oh, okay.
I
but
used to
this
be
time
able
I
to
do.
see auras really well until I started wearing glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Once I
Oh,
started wearing glasses, I couldn't see them anymore, even when I
Mm.
take the glasses off. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why that is. It's weird.
interesting.
Yeah.
I had a funny
Yeah.
thing happen to me. I don't know if any of you would know what it is. I had just moved my hand like that, and my two fingers, like magnets, pulled together. And when
Mm-hmm.
I pulled it out, it felt like an energy in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I felt you could feel it. And I told my boyfriend, feel it. And it just went,
Interesting.
it was spontaneous. It's
Mhm.
never
Mm-hmm.
happened again. I thought maybe it's my carpal tunnel. I mean, I've never
Hmm.
heard of that, but it was like two magnets just pulled my fingers, and when I pulled it apart, there was
Hmm.
an energy flow between them. It was the weirdest
That's
thing.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but interesting.
Just energy. Yeah, it could be. Well, we are like little magnets, so it
Yeah,
doesn't actually surprise me.
Yeah.
it's never
I
happened
think
again though.
we're becoming more and more used to a flow of energy that is being amplified more and more and more. The more we learn, the more we get together and send, the more we get used to creating those channels where the energy flows through.
Mm-hmm.
I think that becomes strengthened somehow. The more we do it, the more we practice,
It is a muscle. So yes, it
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
stronger. Right. So when I teach Reiki, I tell people that, today is as weak as this muscle will ever get. The more you use
Mm-hmm.
it, the stronger it gets, the easier it flows. And if you never use it, and then 20 years from now, you decide to use it, it's there, right there.
Yeah.
It
Uh-huh.
also never goes away.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But everybody can do this. Like
Yes.
there was nothing special. There was no hocus pocus that we did. It was simply an intention to send vitality to someone else or ourselves.
Hmm.
And that's all that we need is the desire, the true loving desire to help another, to help ourselves, to share this information. And I remember when I was learning, and I couldn't wait to get to Reiki 2, because in Reiki 2 you learn distant healing, so you can send it at a distance. You don't need Reiki 2.
Wow.
You don't need Reiki 2. You only need to have the intention to do the work. Um, Reiki 1, Reiki 2, those are just methods to use what we already have inside of us. We just
Mm-hmm.
need, and some people just need a piece of paper to say they can do this. Some
Mm-hmm.
people just need the teachings because it never occurred to them before. Whatever it is, I try to meet people where they are and then give them the tools that they need, whatever those tools might be. But we can all do this. We don't need any special hocus pocus.
Mm-hmm.
This is us.
I love it.
Me too. Me too. And this is a beautiful, wonderful group. Ooh, I'm losing my battery. Let me plug I have the plug close this time.
Got back up.
I do. You plug it
I
in.
love the power of the group, including the people on Facebook. And I don't
Yes.
think
Yeah.
any of it is random. I think we're supposed to be who we're being
Yes. Yeah.
concertedly.
Yes. I love it. And, it wouldn't be bad that we could start, each one with sending a little healing to the world.
Yes.
The world
Mm.
could use that. And
Well, I
and
pictured that in when we did it around the
Yeah.
world. I certainly
beautiful.
did.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
nice.
In
I
addition to everybody.
yeah, and
I was selfishly
definitely.
lost in the sauce.
But you know what? Your sauce just made it tastier.
Yes.
Oh,
And
speaking of the bumper stickers that you're working on, I was
oh,
going to mention it earlier when you were talking about not being able to ascend stairs anymore, or steps or ladders. How about this for a bumper sticker? Visualize levitation.
Oh, yes.
oh,
That makes a nice t-shirt too.
Yeah,
yeah.
there you
We
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Nice. No, the power of the group is amazing. And when people gather together to do certain intentions, I think that's why Jane's ESP classes were so big and so important and so much
Mm.
got through, because there was so much. And the people that came to the classes weren't all just young people. There was young
Yeah.
and old alike.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were even children, so there
Mm-hmm.
was, and men and women, and it was just, it ran the gamut of everybody, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
was welcome there. And we've met so many of her students through the years.
Mm-hmm.
And funny, but very few of them knew each other, so
Mm-hmm.
they did it for so
Hmm.
many years, because I think they started the ESP classes before Seth Speaks. I think
Mm-hmm.
they were in the
Hmm.
personal sessions at that time, and they did it for at least 15 years, because they stopped when they moved to the Hill House.
Yeah.
And I think there might have been 2 or 3 classes after they moved, more like reunion get-togethers.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't hold regular classes once they moved to the Hill House.
I got that feeling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for at least 13 years, somewhere in that area between 13 and 15 years, she held ESP classes every Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
It is.
I mean, that's a long time.
I wish I knew about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could have gotten there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm,
God.
Now,
Oof.
see, I didn't even know about Jane then. And I did live in Elmira while she was alive, but she was in the hospital by then.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved here in 83. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has been an interesting period of time in history, spanning the 70s and 80s and 90s and so forth. This block of time, in terms of what it released into reality, for us all to get a hold of, for us all to grow from, for us all to experience. It's an amazing period,
Mhm.
because so much happened, so much grew, so
Oh,
much was put
yes.
out there, totally different from the back in the day of Blavatsky and all of that stuff. And then,
Yes.
but
I wasn't.
suddenly the new age pushed forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't going to mention this, but maybe I should, because this is who I was going to send it to. And and I understand what you said, that we did send it even though we weren't thinking about it.
Yeah.
But my mother
Mm-hmm.
and my sister and her family, they've all been diagnosed with COVID.
Mm.
Now, the
Oh.
interesting thing is my mother is the total rebel, and she's not having any symptoms at all. None.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one that's got 20% heart function, and yeah. And my
Mm-hmm.
sister, who's young and healthy, is the one that's suffering the most. And So it is all about belief. It really is. I mean,
It is.
on some level.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
Well, I will certainly include them in my very next meditation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually more worried about my sister than I am my mom.
Yeah.
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 Because
Because she has a little more fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's incredible how, people that don't have any fear, I mean, the fearless healers are amazing. And whether they be old people or young people, even if they are at risk, if they have no fears, then they're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then there's those that it's not fear. Like I want to say Jane really believed that she needed to sit and not be distracted so that she could write. And she certainly did create that for herself. And I just
That's true.
I wish so much, because she could still be alive today. I mean, she would be what, 93 maybe?
Yeah.
She could very well still be alive today.
Yep.
And if she believed that she could do more if she was healthy, that it, I mean, if she had more time as opposed to more quality time to do what she wanted to do and write and paint. She loved to paint. Oh my gosh. Ron Card has so many of her beautiful paintings that nobody's ever seen.
No.
Yeah. Oh, they're gorgeous.
I'm only used to seeing Rob's painting.
Right. And Jane's are so different. They are so lively and bright. And she's done, some of them are watercolors.
That's the word, lively.
Yes. And she brought that life into her paintings. Very, very much so. I love her work. Love it.
That's very interesting. I love yours, by the way.
Why, thank you so much.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
When you showed the watercolor things you did, the cards you did for your family, I kept thinking that would make a nice box set for others for Christmas.
One gentleman, the one that I had sent it to Oshara's aunt that lives here in Horseheads, and he's like, I have to have a print of that. So I had our printer. I'm like, well, what can you do? Because the cards were really small. They were just like 3 by 5 maybe. I just took a piece of paper and anyway, they were able to blow it up to an 8 by 10, and it looks pretty good. I wish I would have taken not my signature on there, because that is the thing that looks the worst. The painting looks fine. But I
like their signature.
but if I knew I was going to do that, I probably would have scanned them at a much higher resolution. And I just didn't expect somebody to want that. And of course, and I haven't told him this, but since I hurt my knee, I haven't gone to I haven't gone anywhere to get the stuff to mail it to him, but I do have it. So, and yeah, they're not so bad. Yeah. Well, mostly I don't ever sell my original work. So I have all my original artwork. I can scan them. I can do whatever I want with them. The cards I just sent to people, just, I didn't even think about it, but I scanned them just so I had record of them. So, yeah.
Good to do.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. And I'm working on a very creative project now that has to do a little bit of Seth, a little bit of children. So I'm working on a children's book.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do one, but
maybe a series.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I came up, and it was during a meditation. It was like an absolute download as to what it was going to be like, how it was going to be said, and then I started writing stuff, and then as the days went on, I started getting more and more and more. So it's definitely a channeled book, but it's based on Seth information, but it's not any quotes from Seth at all. Not at all.
That sounds very intriguing.
So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
And I did, and I'm illustrating it too. Let me tell you, the writing is
that's
faster than the illustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I only have two pages illustrated done. So I have to work on quite a bit more. So so this is when I'm recuperating, I'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, how are we doing on time? Oh my God, we're almost there. It's almost 3 o'clock.
It's amazing how it goes.
It does go by fast, but you know what?
zips.
It's like sitting in the living room with friends, just chit chatting.
Yeah.
And that's so nice. And you know, the Facebook people have been pretty quiet. So yeah, I'm saying that now. Joe says, will Ron someday share more of Jane's artwork? Well, Ron has shared most of it on Facebook as he's going through these boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. And now, mind you, Oshar and I helped him load his car with these boxes, right? We were there. There's pictures of all of us loading his car. We put it together like a puzzle piece to get everything to, as a matter of fact, we thought, he asked us, he was like, can you take some of the stuff home with you? And, you know, but we were able to get everything in his car. And we went through a lot of the boxes, you know, just glancing through them. There's things that we had no idea, and he had no idea that he got. Sometimes I wonder if things just didn't manifest in the car on the way. Because there's like, I don't know, there was just a lot of stuff. And I didn't see a lot of artwork when we were loading the car, but he's taken photographs of lots of it. So if you go to Seth Force, I think most of it he has been cataloging on there. Yeah. So and I think we'll put together a lot of the artwork at some point at you know, either, I don't know how, something. I mean, it's beautiful and it should not be lost. Now, I know that Jane did a painting of irises. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. So if anybody has a copy of it or the original, I would so love to have a photograph of the irises. So what we bought from Laurel were roses. So, and it was, I think it says roses from a friend or something like that on the, I don't remember what, but it's written on the back and it's her handwriting. So she usually doesn't sign the front of hers, but she usually did write on the back of the boards. And she just used like a regular old canvas board.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think Ron will share what he can as he goes through it. He said he's got months of sifting. There's so much. I mean, when he came up to see us, he had Jane's rocker. He had the coffee table. He had boxes full of books. He had her ashtrays. He had all Rob's comic books. He had all of the paintings, right? And his car was full right to the top. So, you know, I mean, that's a lot of stuff, furniture and all. His car was just as full with this stuff when he went home with this next batch. And there was one desk that we were able to get the legs off and put it in there nice. So there was an antique desk in there. That was the only piece of furniture. So
kind of a mobile Seth house.
Well, now it's two carfuls. So I don't know how he's going to bring everything up here. He's going to need to rent a U-Haul. Let's see. Judy Snyder is on Facebook, and she says, so sorry to have missed the meditation. Came in at the tail end, but sounds like it was an amazing experience by everyone. Looking forward to retrieving and doing a slower day. Be well. May you be at peace. May you be healthy. May you be happy. Thanks, Judy. Love you. Joe says, where can you find Seth Works? I don't know what you mean, Joe. Seth Works. I don't know what you're asking, so you'll have to type more. We'll try to help you. I don't know. And I know that there's a little lag here from when they actually hear us if they're on Facebook.
Oh yes, that's right. I forget about that.
Yeah, I'll try to pay attention. Oh, the artwork. Seth Force Adventures in Consciousness Continues. So it's the Facebook group that Ron Card uses or that he manages. He has posted most of the artwork on there, and he's not really using them for memes yet, except for the Seth portrait. So, and actually, if you go down through ours, he posts most of it on our site too. So yeah, just look for Ron Card and you'll find the artwork. Our new website is now up and running. And I can't even point her to the old website because there used to be pictures that he brought up when he was here a year ago. But that's not on the new website. So I can't point anybody in that direction. So what I might do is I might go through those pictures and post them here in the group. So I might do that. I took pictures of most of the artwork. Okay, Joe gave me a thumbs up. She got it. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to say goodbye. You know, it's been lovely Sunday.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
Yep, I know the song.
We're dating ourselves.
Yes, we are, but that's okay.
And then you pull your ear.
Absolutely. I do love our Sundays together. I do. I have a great time. And, you know, if the whole world could just live in the space that we live in, it would be such a good place. And I think by projecting the goodness and the love that we have, that eventually people will catch up with us. You know, they will.
Yeah.
And it's a time for transformation, and things are happening, and they're happening fast now, really fast.
Speeding up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even children are seeing that. Everything is speeding up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, I love spending time with you guys, and hopefully Jeff will be able to be back next week. And and there are some other people. I have to apologize that you have to be signed into Zoom to connect with us. It's not us that's asking for your password and your login, it's Zoom. So you have to be logged into Zoom first, then you can be a panelist. And there are many people out there that do not want to give Zoom their passwords, but you have to make an account with them. And I want to say maybe, what was it, 8 months ago, we were infiltrated because we didn't used to use a password. It was open to everybody. And we had to stop that because we had,
hacking.
Horrible. Horrible
hacking.
And it was very disturbing. And it spent, I spent a lot of time just trying to get people off and quiet. So we had to institute things to protect our group. So I'm sorry if that stops somebody from joining us, but I had to do what I felt was best for the whole. So, yeah. All right. I will get this up hopefully later tonight after my family leaves. And they're on their way now. So I want to say goodbye and thank you so much. And we'll be back on next week.
Yeah.
Yes, we will be. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.